Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Friends Podcast. Today on the podcast, we sit down with singer, songwriter, actress Aprilann. We speak with Aprilann about that first taste of success as an artist. We talk about what it takes to get to where she is today in her career. If you're interested in the entertainment business at all, this would be a good listen. You get to hear the ins and outs of that industry, and you get to hear about what goes on behind the scenes. Hope you guys enjoy.
Show's starting. The show's starting. Shh. Show's starting. Shut up. The show's starting. Shut up. It's Ben's Friends Podcast.
We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Aprilann, you are Ben's friend today. Glad to have you on the podcast. Been wanting to have you on for a while, but finally we got you here with your super busy schedule. So first of all, tell us about who you are. Who's Aprilann? Let everyone get to know you. I'll just say it out front. Me and Aprilann are cousins, so a lot of our references, stories that we may be talking about will make a lot more sense if we spent a lot of time together because we're cousins. But let everyone know who you are. Who is Aprilann? Just in a brief little thing.
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me on. I'm super excited to be here. We have a lot of history and everything, and I was excited that you're doing this podcast and invited me on because we don't really get to, sit down and talk about anything serious or anything, really going on in our lives that much when we're just hanging out and, making fun of our family.
Yeah.
So,
no. I agree with that, except for as of lately, I feel like the last few times we've seen each other, we've had some deep conversations that go pretty late into the night about some stuff that's like, what the heck are we, what are we doing? I don't know.
Well, 2020 being so as insane as it is, it definitely, I think probably more people are talking more about
more
things
deep
that
thinkers.
They wouldn't.
More deep thinkers these days. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, everyone is a deep thinker, or at least thinks they're a deep thinker.
Well, man, that's a tough one. Are you a deep thinker if you think you're a deep thinker? Because I don't know. Now I'm questioning my thought depth, I guess. I don't know. All right. So first of all, how's your shoulder doing?
It's still hurting pretty bad. I went to the doctor, and then as soon as I got there, they told me that the doctor just got called into emergency surgery. So they're like, you're not going to get seen today probably. And then I didn't get to go back. So,
so you still haven't seen anybody?
Yeah. And it's just sort of constantly hurting, but.
Okay. Well, that's a problem. So you posted on your Instagram, I don't know how many people saw it, but how you injured your shoulder. And that was if anybody knows Aprilann, that was the most Aprilann thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so how exactly did it go down? What happened?
Me and my boyfriend were watching The Sixth Sense, and I specifically was if this is scary, we shouldn't watch it because I'm insane.
Yeah.
But I get scared, so I just get scared by nothing. So anything anything.
That's something I want to clarify. When you say you get scared by nothing, a lot of people get scared by nothing. There's a little, they saw a squirrel run by them or something. It's a whole different level of nothing. If you can imagine, it's you. I mean, you get scared of your own. I don't even know. I mean, not even your shadow. Your own thoughts about seeing your shadow makes you jump. So, I figured the scary movie definitely put you over the edge for that shoulder.
Yeah. So, it was just one jump scene, and I knew it was coming. So I prepped. I was like, okay. And I wasn't even looking at the screen, but the cat jumped. I know, I swear. The cat was on my lap. The cat was on my lap, and the cat jumped, and then that made me jump.
That's absurd. That's absurd. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen it firsthand, and I don't know if that's some sort of disease or something.
It's gotta be.
It's the most fragile, fright nerve like I've ever seen in my life. It's insane. So tell, so what do where are you from? You're from Daytona Beach? Obviously I know that, but like, what was your childhood kind of like? Like, what did who shaped you to be Aprilann? Like, what is Aprilann,
Well, I grew up in Daytona Beach, which was fun. I spent a lot of time at the beach and didn't really get into music or acting for really a long time. Like, I really wasn't doing much until after high school. And then I went to acting school actually from high school because I was so stupid. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, well, like I'm a good enough musician. Like I definitely like am good at like music. I've got covered. So I'll go to acting school because that's the part that I felt like I needed to work on. But that was really stupid because then
by going to acting school, you feel like it put your music like progress behind?
Yeah, I feel
your
like
development.
Well, I feel like I didn't realize how much I did need to train for music as well as acting. I mean, I don't know. I'm such a lyric person, so I really only have ever thought of music as lyrics,
right.
Because that's my thing. But then as I'm producing the songs with these producers and everything and not really understanding what they're talking about and and not knowing what key it's in and not knowing what chords I'm using, I'm just playing completely like with zero background besides what Claire has taught me, which is and so I regret not going to music school, but I really, really loved acting school. So and definitely I don't.
What was the name of that school, the acting school?
New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts.
Okay, sounds very official. It sounds like produces actors left and right.
Yeah, it was really, really, really cool school. I loved it.
And so yeah, what was your, like I said, obviously I know these things, but like if you had to describe your home life, before you went to acting school, when you're in high school, your hometown, like what was the everyday life like? Like what was your household like, your siblings, your parents?
I have a brother and 3 sisters, and my parents are awesome. I mean, they've been super supportive this whole time throughout my career. So I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. And they're very non-traditional parents. So that's why I have their support, because normal parents probably would have advised against what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I'm really grateful for them. I have a great family.
So at what point, like in your childhood, were you like, because we come from a basketball family. Me and Aprilann, we both come from a very deep line of basketball in our family. So, I mean, like for me, it was obvious, like, you're playing basketball. That's kind of what you're doing. And you did that too. But like, at what age were you like, I think I want to be a singer and an actor. Like I want to be in the entertainment industry. Like when was that?
That was actually, I was thinking about that the other day because people constantly ask me like, when do you wanted to like, I don't know, when did you know you wanted to do this or whatever? And I feel like there never was like a decision I had to make about being a singer. Like I always wanted to be a singer, songwriter. When I say singer, I really mean songwriter, because I wouldn't do singing without songwriting. But I always have felt like I'm a singer. Like that's just that's just always been it. But acting has been more of something that I definitely see as like a craft that I have to work on and really dig into to get right. And music comes a lot more naturally. But I love them, both honestly pretty equally.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to take one path and that's it forever, would it be music? It sounds like that's what you're like, you lean more towards it. Like that's your natural desire. It's
my natural desire, but if I take into account like the 2 industries, I would probably pick acting, just because I think the music industry is so like
It's
The
brutal
more
at times. I don't know.
yeah, it's really brutal. And the worst part about the entire thing for me, not that it's been the worst. I mean, it's great in a lot of ways too. But the part that's kind of like, I don't know, like hurts the most when you do have sort of accomplishments or anything is you constantly have to doubt what your results really are, because there's so much fake
Right.
like playlisting, and so many people are trying to get you to do something that's going to hurt, your algorithmic
Yeah.
like numbers
Yeah.
and all of that. And it goes so deep, like so much deeper than I ever could have imagined.
Right. I mean, it's cool you're getting to
So
see
it,
that side of it, though. I mean, like
mhm,
you're really getting to experience like what life is like at that level, like what it's like for celebrities, what it's like for people who are actually in the entertainment industry or the music industry, I'm sorry,
mhm,
and like
yeah,
not just your everyday rapper that you hear online or, YouTube or
yeah,
whatever. So it's really kind of like crazy. The fact that you can talk about these things, it's like, that must feel pretty cool. And just in itself, it's like, oh shoot, like I know how, the streaming works now. Like I've had a few streams myself now. Like it's pretty cool. So, I mean, I don't know.
I just got rid of my manager and my PR team and my playlister. So literally they were my whole team, and I got rid of them, and it's been 10 times more rewarding when I see, that my streams are going up or that I'm, getting new followers or anything, because I know that it's all,
It's
from
like
my
paying
efforts and
off,
not
like
from,
your decisions are
yeah.
paying well. Like, yeah. So, I mean, that's always a good
Mm-hmm.
feeling. Like you won the bet basically. Like it was a gamble getting rid of your whole team. Like that can be free. I mean, I kind of went through something similar when I decided to fire my agent and go with a new guy, but it's not nearly as like as a big decision as yours was, clearly. But yeah, I can relate. It's like it paid off. You won that bet. So
Yeah.
crap, there's a fly. Do you see this fly like flying around my face right now?
No.
Is that an issue where you're at right now? Like the flies?
Oh, the flies? The
Yes.
flies? The flies are insane. I thought
Insane.
I should have taken a picture. I've killed like
Oh
at
my
least
God.
100 flies, and my boyfriend was getting so mad at me because our wall is like has to paint the wall.
Because you're just smacking the
There's
flies.
just blood. I'm smacking the flies every single time I go in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I mean, like I was literally laying in bed. I don't know, it might have been today or yesterday. I was sitting there and I was like, I literally think I've killed more flies in the last month than anybody, like by hand. Like not, someone has a zapper in
Yeah.
their yard or something, but not like with their bare hands. Like I've killed, it has to be north of 100 flies. Like just every day, it's
Yeah.
all I would do. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
it's fun, but it's like it's stressful. Like I hate when I can't get it, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be able to like
Yeah.
chill until I get this thing. But
What about the spiders?
I've seen like
Do you have a ton of spiders?
no, I've seen like one spider, I think. I mean, that really hasn't been an issue. Are they bad there? I mean, you're in Serbia now, so I mean, it's not like anyone listening knows what the bugs are like in Serbia. So, are spiders bad in Serbia?
No, the spiders aren't like poisonous or anything. They're just everywhere, and we have so many spiders in the house. It's insane. There's just webs everywhere.
Oh no!
And but then my boyfriend won't do anything about it because he says that they eat the flies.
Oh
So,
my God! I don't care. I don't
yeah,
care.
that's how I am.
I'd rather go through the trouble of killing these flies than have one spider in my apartment. There's no way.
You don't even know. Yeah, it's been hard. They're in the shower, which is the main place that I.
Oh God, no! That's like the last place I'd want to see it. Like when I go in the shower, that is like that's my happy time. Like I go in there, I play some music, I relax, and like having a spider in there would throw me off Oh, really? That's like the last place on earth I'd want there to be a spider.
I just don't look up.
Oh God, they're above you?
Yeah,
Oh
that's
no.
so he's like, don't look at him.
No.
It's
No. I was at my dad's house one of my last days when I was home, and I showered at my dad's, and there's a freaking, like, we have lizards in Florida, but this lizard was like huge. This is like a huge green lizard. Like, I was like, this is like an iguana. It was sitting in the corner of the shower, and it was like, eyes were wide open. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm really freaking out because like I just want to take my shower.
oh my God.
So I'm like, is that thing alive? So I'm like, splashing water on it, and it's not moving. I'm like, oh my God, he's not scared of me. Like, this is so bad. And I just shower super quick, like away in the other corner, splashing water on myself. And I go out and I tell my dad, I'm like, Dad, like, there's a huge lizard in there. He's like, oh, it's been dead for like weeks. I'm like, what? Get that thing out of there. Like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's just insane. I mean,
Oh my God.
I get lazy.
That sounds like your dad, though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because I do that with certain things too. Like, I'll just leave like a t-shirt on the ground for like a week, but I don't think I'd ever do that with a lizard in my shower.
Leave a dead lizard in your shower. Yeah.
And it's not a normal lizard. This thing was like, I mean, like I said, this thing was massive. Like, this is not your everyday little lizard running around Florida sidewalks. Like, this was a freaking monster.
Yeah.
So what do you, when's your next song coming out? You were doing every week for a while, and then what happened?
That was the plan when I had my manager and the whole team helping me. And then when I fired them, I immediately was like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore, because I realized that only sort of pushing a song for 2 weeks and then starting to push another song is just, it doesn't give your song long enough to like do what it can. So that was, again, just something I learned literally 2 months ago, when I released those songs.
Were people mad? Was anybody mad that like when the next like 2 weeks came by, they're like, hey, we're like, what's going on? Where's the music?
Well, yeah, I had like some DMs and stuff, like, but I did say like on my story a couple times, like, that the next song was going to be late because I'm an idiot. And I was thinking about keeping it on time, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Or just from a music standpoint, like, why rush it when you can let it develop, like, let it get better, let your everything get better. But yeah, so when is the next one coming out?
My goal would be in the next like 6 weeks.
Really?
Which is really long, but I really want this next one to be the best one that I have. So I got live instruments for this one, and I'm recording it with a real band and everything, which is just a lot harder. So it takes longer.
Okay. So they got to learn your music and pretty much until you say it's perfect, or what?
It's just hard to record instruments because, for example, like a producer, typically all he needs to produce a song is his computer. And it's a lot easier to switch things or whatever because it's all just editing. But when you record with live instruments, it's just so important to get good sound. And even just recording a podcast is hard, so to get good sound on all of those instruments, and it's just really time consuming. But I think it's going to be worth it.
I never thought of that. So can you leak the name of the song or no?
So the song is actually a song that I have already kind of made. But it's Let's Keep Breaking Up, my song from EP1. Mm-hmm. And when I went into the studio to make that song, I came in with a demo called Breakup Bag. And that song got turned into Let's Keep Breaking Up when we were producing the song, because the producer didn't like it. And so we brought writers in and sort of just changed everything. And that was like 2 years ago. And I've always still just had that song Breakup Bag in my head, because it's always sort of like haunted me that I didn't do it right. And so so now I'm doing it full out live instruments, and that's the song coming out.
so Breakup Bag has been in the works for how long now in total, like from when you wrote that song?
in total, like over 3 years.
Okay, so so you take up to 3 years to get a song completely done, exactly how you want it, from the moment it popped into your mind. Like, a lot of things change in those 3 years. Like, a lot of like who you are, like the way you think. So like, are you ever like, what the F, like, what are these words I was saying? Or are you ever like my biggest thing is I think about this in a lot of your songs, and I'm sure it's a big thing people talk to you about, but like your new boyfriend, if you're singing a song about someone that hurt you in the past, it's like, is this weird? Like, is it awkward? Like, so how does that, like, what is that? Like, is it weird for like your current boyfriend to hear like a love song about your past?
I mean, my ex-boyfriend, who all these songs are about now, it always like skips a generation of a boyfriend which boyfriend is hearing the songs.
Okay.
Yeah, so like,
so we'll know if you and your current don't make it, the next album will be solely on this one. Okay.
Yeah, the next album would be about this one. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
So I think my ex-boyfriend loves them all, and my current boyfriend, he loves them all too. I mean, he's been my complete like right hand throughout the producing portion of it, like editing everything. And I mean, he's done so much for the songs, and he wouldn't do that if he doesn't love them. So he's not.
So he's supportive, but I know as a boyfriend that there's a part of him that hears some of those words and are like, oh, that's so annoying. But I'll just look past it. Bigger picture here. He probably has to tell himself like, all right, just be mature, man. Like, all the time when he hears your songs. I don't know. I feel like it's so natural. Like, you can't help it. There's no way.
Well, my ex-boyfriend was in the studio with me when I recorded 8th of November, but it was 2 years ago when I was working on that song too. And the 8th of November that I released is nothing like the 8th of November I made with this other producer. And it used to be called Crazy Mad Love, which is sort of like a cheating song. But the only cheating lyrics were the lyrics that I didn't write on the song. They were, the producer and the co-writer. Right. They were like, I think it needs this big chorus here.
Hold on. Pause. What do you mean cheating music?
It was just like Crazy Mad Love. I'm still in love with my ex-boyfriend, but I'm with this new guy.
Like a little like fling with somebody else?
Yeah.
I thought this was like a musical term. You're like cheating music. It was like the lyrics like plagiarized or something. I'm like, what is cheating music?
No.
I didn't know what that was. I mean, this sounds like it could be a term.
Yeah, it's just cheating lyrics. That's what I should have said. Yeah, it wasn't cheating music. But he would get really pissed, like throw things. One time when I showed him Good Friends for the first time, he poured a Sonic drink on me. Come
on. I mean, that's so absurd. And you know what really sucks about that is not even that the Sonic is on you or whatever happens. It's like, then I feel like the mental toll that would take on me to like, when I'm continuing to write. I mean, maybe you're narrow-minded and you can avoid that and not even but like, I would be like, man, I don't know if I can write this. Is so-and-so going to be pissed? Like, is this going to start a huge fight? Like, I don't want to get into. So I feel like from a career standpoint, like having someone that's not supportive of what you're doing it's got to be like the worst. Like, I can't imagine,
Yeah, it was like really hard with the writing. Exactly. Like that was exactly. And Nikki actually, who too, my best friend Nikki, she was with me when I was like in the process of making Good Friends. And there's a line in Good Friends that says, my boyfriend's sleeping, he doesn't know. And I was like, I can't put that. Like, what if me and Benji are still dating when the song comes out? And I was like, but we're not really doing that great. So maybe I don't even have to worry about it. But then we were. So
okay, yeah, that's like worst case scenario.
Yeah, but Nikki was the one who was like, well, you can't let him dictate. Like, this is your career. Like, you have to write what's best. And she kind of said it like are you serious? Like, you're going to change the lyric for him?
Yeah. Well,
And I was like,
that's
okay.
so good. Thank God she did that and didn't just tell
Yeah.
you like, oh, like, maybe not, like you need that person who's going to push you to do the right thing, and especially with your career, like, man. But yeah, that's funny. So like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to say this, but like, do you ever like, because you've written a lot of songs, like you've had some serious relationships, because a lot of your songs are about those relationships. Like if you're single and like you run into a guy and you're like, okay, I can tell that there's going to be some drama here. Like I can tell this guy, I really like this guy, but I know this guy is bad for me. Like is part of you, is the artist, like grab him, like this is so much material. Like does that ever pop into your mind when you're talking to a guy? Like, ooh man, like this could go bad and I could definitely this could, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think it's actually more so where when I'm in the past, like where I've been in a relationship, and if I like someone, then I've been sort of the one who is like, okay, I could make a good song if I just, this is like a thought in the back of my head. This isn't like a strategy.
No. I'm not saying it's a strategy. I'm just like, I mean, hey, those thoughts pop into your mind. Like, it's just, it's natural. I don't know.
Well, no, I just mean, like if I was dating someone or something and I liked them, I would definitely cause drama for the sake of, it's kind of fun. And it was, when I was kind of immature.
Yeah.
And I would definitely cause drama on purpose and write songs about it and think it was all great. That Breakup Bag is definitely a song that I wrote with the intention of, oh, this will really piss him off. But it wasn't to be mean. It was like, it's almost to be flirting and to be flirty. And so I think when my ex-boyfriend hears Breakup Bag, like coming out, he's going to be like, what the F is going on?
I mean, are you ever like, I mean, you seem to get along. Like, I mean, you and your current boyfriend, I really like, and I'm like, is it almost like too good? Like, are you ever going to be like, crap, like, I need some material here. Like, come on, I need a new album. Like,
I literally do that every day. Like,
okay.
I tell him all the time.
You're like, you need to be you need to be a dick to me so I can,
Yeah.
That's funny.
And now when I write like a mean song about him, it's like I have to take. I'm like, what did he? I don't know. Did he do anything?
Like, oh my god! Like, he didn't take the trash out. Like.
Which I've been in Serbia for like 4 months this trip, and I haven't taken the trash out one time.
For some reason, that's one of those things. Like it's like my dad with the lizard in the shower. It's like I will let that thing get to absurd heights before I'm taking that trash out.
I'm the same way with that. I
won't do it. I won't do it. I've come to accept that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm not taking the trash out. Unless someone like puts it in my hand and they're like, you're on your way out. I'm like, all right. But for some reason, I'll like see it and I'm like, I need to really take this trash out. And I'll be like, I'll do it tonight. Never happens. Like, I don't know why. That's
I can't do the trash either.
That is funny. I know. Even in college, people would be like, man, like, Ben, you never take the trash. Like all my roommates, like, it's your turn. And I was always like, I know. Like I never made an excuse. I was just like, I just don't do it. It's not in my DNA to take that trash out. And another thing is washing pans.
Oh,
no way. What were you going to say?
Well, that is one for me too. I don't ever wash my hands, but that's because they sweat.
No. Washing pans.
Oh.
Like if I just cook the eggs and I got to clean the pan, I'm like, holy crap. This is like, part of me just doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
Ever.
But do you wait to clean it till after you eat?
Yeah, I do. But with plates, I get done quick. Like plates, I could clean plates all day. Honestly, I don't mind it. I'm relaxed. I'll just clean the plates. But with a pan, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know what it is. It's like the trash can for me. I'm like, no way. I just can't do
Yeah.
it.
I'm okay with the pan. I don't really like, I hate getting wet clothes out of the washer and hanging them on the, like,
A clothing
thing to
line or
dry. Yeah. Like
you got to do that in
can't.
Serbia. Like, yeah, that's.
We have a washer and dryer in one thing now.
Oh.
So now we're cool, but I couldn't handle it. It was like, I'm not coming back if I have to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a huge. Another one of my things is I don't do laundry until I literally have no more clothes to wear. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now I got to do the laundry, and so then I have to hang it everywhere. I have to hang all my stuff everywhere too. So I'd run out of space. I run out of clothespins. I'm like, oh, holy crap! Like I just have clothes all over my apartment, hanging off of curtains and just everywhere because I have to dry. Like, so being in Spain right now is just they don't have that stuff out here, and it's like, what? Like,
you should see if you can buy like a small thing on like my mom uses that, like really tiny.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Really small. Just for drying even would be maybe worth it.
Yeah, put them in the oven maybe. Probably work with
That's
clothes.
what Kramer does.
That's what Kramer does?
Yeah, on Seinfeld.
I actually don't remember that episode.
Yeah.
I don't. Are you still watching Seinfeld or what? Where are you at with that?
I'm on season 6.
How many is there? Like 8 seasons? How many seasons?
Like 8, yeah. 8 or 9.
Seinfeld is, it's ridiculous. All right. But yeah, so who to you, if you had to, I don't like to say who's the GOAT of anything because it's just always an annoying debate. But like, who would be your Mount Rushmore of like musicians and artists? Like, you obviously know what Mount Rushmore, the 4 faces.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay, Mount Rushmore. So who would you have on there? Who are like your top 4? Like,
oh wow. Well, lyricist obviously Taylor.
Okay, so boom, automatic Taylor's up there just because lyrically alone she's.
Well, lyrically alone.
I mean, you can be so good lyrically that just overrides everything. If it's your Mount Rushmore, like whoever.
Who else would be on there? I don't listen to anyone. I guess. Wow, I don't even want to say this.
Who? Say it. You got to say it now.
Well, I guess I was gonna say Arctic Monkeys.
Okay.
But I'm embarrassed to say that because like I just don't know anyone. But I know that I like them.
Okay, so this is now you're just naming anyone you like at all.
Well, I really like them. Like, I think that they're.
This doesn't have to be even someone you listen to. This has to be just like,
okay.
Like someone you're like, man, like the way they did it, the way their career went, like that's who is the GOAT to me, is one of the top 4 best of all time. I mean, come on, who's someone you listen to? I mean, if you want to say, you know what, this makes it easier. If you just think Taylor Swift is the GOAT because that was the only one you could put up there.
But I don't. I just I don't know. I'm trying to think of who like, I'm just listening to people who are current right now, and I have some like new favorite artists, but I don't,
Yeah, they're not like as prestigious and like,
But yeah, Taylor's been around for over a decade, so
she's solidified as one of the greatest of all time. That's it. Like, but you could literally just say like, because I was basically, I just didn't want to ask you like, who's the GOAT of music? Like, who's the GOAT in your eyes? And a lot of people, that's such a hard, like that usually just causes debates or whatever. So I was just like, I'm always used to the LeBron Jordan debate. Yeah. Who's the GOAT? So I automatically think of that debate. So I'm like, I'm not even going to go there. Let's just name your top 4. And the only one you could name was Taylor Swift. It's just say she's the GOAT, and then this is over.
Yeah, she is the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your favorite artist. Like that's who you, I mean, did she get you into songwriting or music? Like,
Well, the first song I heard from her was Our Song, and that one, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like it's not, singing, it's songwriting. And like until her, I didn't really connect the two like as separate things. Like I just thought I wanted to be a singer, and of course that meant I'm writing my own songs, but I was like, oh,
right.
I can write songs and actually like write song, I could write songs for other people. I could
Yeah.
write
Or you
songs
could, you could not
other
write
things.
anything at all and just sing the
Yeah.
songs, you know? Like
Yeah.
I thought that growing up too. I'm like, okay, so these people are like, what do you mean songwriters? Like everyone who's singing right now is a songwriter. Like,
Yeah.
and then I learned like so-and-so didn't sing that or didn't write that. I'm like, what? Like that really changes a lot for me.
Me too. I mean,
Like,
everything really.
yeah, like you could be one of the greatest singers ever, but when I find out you didn't write your own lyrics, I'm like, I guess what you did was cool, but it's a whole different depth to it. Like,
Yeah.
and meaning. But you know what's amazing is that these singers, like, how, okay, I can't really relate because I'm not a singer, but I feel like if I was, that when I sing about something I'm really passionate about, it would enhance or improve my performance, like, and I'm like, it's pretty amazing that these people who aren't even writing these songs can really kill it. And you feel the emotion to that person with the music, and there's really no connection whatsoever.
That's always like my main argument. Like because me and my boyfriend argue about like, I don't know who wrote the song
Yeah.
or if that's important or if it's not. And he's like, but you listen to Rihanna. She hasn't written anything in
Yeah,
her
that's
life.
that's
And
what I was thinking. That's what I
and
was
I
thinking.
literally, yeah, and I literally was like, Rihanna really like she kills it every
Yeah,
single song. I don't
every
care if she
song.
wrote it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's the thing. That's why I say about Drake. That's the only knock people have on. I'm obsessed with Drake,
yeah.
and because the only knock they have on people have on him, they're like, oh, he doesn't, he's not really doing all that in his songs. I'm like, I don't even care if he's
Yeah.
not this guy who comes from hard times and he just says it, or it sounds like he is, and to me, that's who he is. Like,
Yeah,
so like,
definitely. And it shows, and when people are able to do that, like it just, to me, like if the songwriting, the fact that it didn't come from them doesn't bother me, it makes me think that they definitely were involved, obviously. Maybe they didn't write the word, but they were there and they had an opinion about what it should say.
yeah, yeah,
They're all working towards like the same topic and they're throwing out ideas. And when you're a songwriter or when you produce a song with someone, if you're in the room with other people, like everyone in the room is considered a songwriter because their energy can affect the song. So even if you didn't write a word, you're still a songwriter. So when you see like 20 credits on
right.
someone's song, it doesn't necessarily mean that they had 20 people writing a lyric,
So how often does an artist like literally have no help at all? Like they wrote that song. I mean, maybe a word like, oh, that your grammar was off there. You might want to say this word. I don't count that. But like, like pretty much the whole entire song was written by them and them only.
Well, I recently just went through like this huge fight with like this producer that I used for my last couple songs because he wanted to be credited as a songwriter, but he didn't write any of the lyrics or the melody, and that is the songwriting. So and because nobody writes their own songs 100%, they always have credited songwriters and stuff. It was like super important to me that these were my songs and that when someone looked at them, they would be just my credit there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the producer I worked on these last couple songs with wanted writing credit, but it was important to me that I was the sole writer because I was the sole writer.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, I decided I'm not giving you writing credit because you didn't write the song. You
Oh,
produced
good
it.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have
Yeah,
felt good to just end that and be like, no, you're actually not getting on this. So I mean, can he
Actually-
like sue or something? Like, how does it?
Actually, it was like a big group argument, with 10 people,
Oh my
and
God. Was this over?
and
Was this being texted, or are you guys like face to face,
email,
or what? Oh, email. Okay.
email, and so yeah, so there's a bunch of people in it, and my mom's in it, and everything, so it got chaotic, and and I don't remember what we were.
What are you talking about? Okay, so no, you're talking about this group email.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about this group email and how it got really hectic because you decided to tell this guy you're not putting him on your song.
Yeah. And his assistant in the email thread goes to writes in the email, yeah, well, just out of curiosity, have you ever seen a singer with only one credited writer? And she literally like acted like that never happened before or something. So that's how uncommon it is, though. I mean,
Really?
because she doesn't know. That's not like
Yeah.
crazy.
So I mean,
Taylor,
not seen. Yeah.
it's just really uncommon. So, but I really wanted to make sure, because if you aren't the sole writer, there's always doubt whether or not you have that much involvement. Yeah.
Man, I wish you would say like
percentage or like go in order.
Yeah, like definitely. I personally would like to see percentage. I'd be like, okay,
yeah.
So I really know whose song this is.
I'd want to see like line for line. Like everyone should have like their songs color coded.
Yeah, honestly, they should like every lyric that you've ever. It should go into like a database. Like these are all the lyrics you've contributed to in Apple Music. Like honestly, Apple could probably figure that out quick.
And there's like so much ghostwriting that really does go on, like for sure. So it's really interesting. Like if you go on Fiverr, even like it's like I'll ghostwrite your track for $100.
What is that?
Like Fiverr. Do you know Fiverr?
No. What is Fiverr?
Yeah, it's just like you can go and hire like a photo editor. Like I need a song produced. Like anything really. But it's like so many ads for like I'll ghostwrite your track. I'll
ghostwrite your check.
I'll ghostwrite your track.
Oh, I was like, your check. Wow. Like, what do you? Is someone gonna write you a fake check? You can like order a fake check. You ever seen Blank Check, the movie? Oh my God, I used to love that movie. It was this kid found it. Oh, this kid got hit by he got hit while he was on his bike by a driver, backed into him. And the guy gets out. This guy is a freaking like billionaire, and he's wanted from the cops. So he sees the cops coming while he's writing this kid a check, and he just leaves the amount empty. He's like, here, write in like $200, something like that. And he just runs away because he's wanted. And the kid writes in $1 million and cashes it. And it's like, first of all, in the movie, the kid's budget is like 10 billion. Like there's no way he bought the stuff he buys for $1 million. I don't even care if it was like in the 90s. I don't know. You got to watch Blank Check. It's like, even though you're not like a little kid anymore, you'll still like feel like, yeah, if I was a little kid, I would have loved this crap. Mm-hmm. That's like how I am with Harry Potter right now. Like I'm watching all the Harry Potters, and we're kind of like just binging them. Like just when we have free time, we just turn one on until the whole series is done. And it's like, man, if I was like growing up with this, I would have loved this crap.
Yeah, Harry Potter was freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Like the lines at the movie theater would be like so exciting. Yeah. You'd be like, I'm going to see everyone I know.
Oh, man.
At the line at Port Orange 6.
I totally missed out on that. I'm just, that's crazy to me. I never got that experience.
It's like kind of a huge one, I feel, because like there wasn't that many like that. That was the only one, really.
Yeah, I know. It's like the greatest series of all time. And I'm watching it and I'm like, geez, like, dude, crap is good. Like, I want to go back to Universal. I want to go back to Harry Potter World and buy a butterbeer. Like,
right?
I'm like, man, I'm like a freaking wizard. Like, before I'd be in Harry Potter World and I was a muggle. I had no idea what was going on. But like now that I've seen them all, like, and really understand them, I'm like, yeah, I can relate now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that really sucks that
Yeah.
I missed
I
that
would,
part.
when we were younger, I remember like you couldn't watch them, and me and Matt would be like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I know. I talk to my parents about that now, and they're like, yeah, what were we thinking? And I'm like, yeah, like seriously.
they were
Um,
such good kids movies.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, when I have kids, they're going to be Harry Potter. Like I'm going to let them grow up with it. Like I didn't get to. I'm like, I'm going to give these kids something that I never had. And
Oh
that's the
my
experience
God.
to grow up with it. You know, each year I'll play a new one. You know,
That's like, well, that's good. That's the thing, like you never had.
yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I was extremely blessed to have the things I had, and but
But that's a
still
bad one
that one, man, and I can't get it back.
because it's just so senseless.
Yeah,
You
and
could have.
I definitely should have, and I blew it. And I can't take those years. I can't go back to being young anymore. And that's it. That's gone. Boom,
Done.
gone forever. So with your with your occupation, like, or what do I say there? Your job,
Yeah.
like you don't have an age limit. Like your body can go until you're 100. So like at what point, like what if you had like a change of heart, or what if you were like, you know what, I gave this thing my all, honestly I'm not in love with it anymore, like I want to do something else. Like have you ever thought about like what if that happened? Or have you ever thought like, or has it always been like, no, this is it, like till the day I die, I will either be big or I'll be pursuing it, you know?
Yeah. That's actually come into my mind, like the exact question, like recently, because it's just, I don't know, it's been a while
Yeah.
of me wanting to do this, and it's still, and it always seems like I'm just beginning. So,
Right.
but this time is the first time that I've felt like I've actually achieved anything like substantial, and like I can feel the response, more
Yeah.
clearly this time. So it's been coming into my mind more even because of that, I think, because before I was like so not, I hadn't really done anything, and I still felt like I hadn't even stepped my toes in the water. But
Right.
but now that I see everything, and
You got a little
talking
taste of success, and you're like, okay, like I could get used to this, or what?
well, I'm like, yeah, I want more, but I'm just saying like, wow, this is really, really draining. Like if I don't find some help that I, actually can use, then like if I don't find people that I like working with, then it's just not going to be worth it, because
Right.
through working with so many different people and producers and managers and people, and I've just realized like I don't care who somebody is or like what they can do for me,
Right.
if I don't like being around them, and if I can't call them on the phone and even talk,
Yeah.
then like I just don't want to work with them. And
If
there's just
you're
a
like
lot.
if you're like really working too at that career, like if you're really working hard, like it's a lot of work. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like an all day job. I mean, like I feel like just my Instagram alone, like, like you're not one to post a ton on social media. So like I can tell, I'm like, man, either she has someone doing this for her, or she's really like working hard right now to get all this done, because I know she hates posting on Instagram. Like that must be annoying, having to keep up your Instagram. Like,
Oh my God. I hate social, like my boyfriend hates social media more than like anyone alive, but he was like, I thought I hated it more than anyone until I met you. Like I've never met someone who legitimately hates it. And I really
yeah,
do hate it, just because like I can't enjoy it because it is work for me. Like every time I'm on it, I'm like, oh, I should be messaging people, or I should be, posting something about the song, or I need a fashion photo, or, it's
right.
really stressful. But lately I've been trying to just chill out a bit and be like, just try to make it more fun for myself.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying that now.
Okay, so you're trying to like it more, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to like it more. Like after we do the podcast, we're going out to do photos.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're
I'm
just trying
trying.
to like it.
Well, no. I mean, that's not going to be fun, but
Yeah.
but it's okay. I mean, it's
Yeah,
little.
it's bad. It's like, or social media is so bad. Like it is terrible. Yeah, you can do some good on there, and I don't think it's like was meant to be bad, but it has become such a monster and so
Yeah.
life consuming. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like it's more than time consuming. Like it literally people live for Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane, and it doesn't seem to like be slowing down. It seems to be getting
No,
worse and worse and
yeah.
worse. And people use it as a news source, so it's
They use it
dangerous.
for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like any crime you can think of, they're doing it on social media.
Yeah.
Any you know, like I don't know, like you know how many like little like creepers are out there like creeping on girls and like
Yeah.
that is crazy to me. And
Yeah.
and there's young girls with Instagrams, like 12, 13-year-old girls. I'm like that's too young to be
Yeah.
posting, pictures of yourself online to millions. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's really, really bad. And I don't like that well, not that I don't like it, but I feel like I don't agree with people posting pictures of their kids all the time. Like
Yeah. I
constantly,
mean,
like I know this one person who is constantly giving us like health updates on his daughter, and I'm like, if I were her, I really wouldn't want you telling everyone what's going on with me like
right. Well,
all the time.
how old's the daughter? Like is it like a baby?
Yeah. Well, no, she's like 12, 13 or
Yeah,
something.
that's about the age where you start to care about your like privacy.
I know when I was like 4, I was like flipping out. Like I need like my privacy. Like I don't want anyone knowing.
Knowing what? Just like what is going on?
Yeah. Like
Um,
I didn't want like my dad telling people like, oh, I don't know, like I can't think of anything.
yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
But I don't know. I guess I just feel like it's not relevant to anyone. So I don't know why. I just feel like it's a place really for venting and sort of therapy for yourself. And
100%.
and it's not really the healthiest way to do it.
No, it's not. I mean, people can comment anything, and I mean, click on your location. I mean, they can do anything on that app. It's like really freaky.
Yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want my kids one day to have social media. Like, I got it in high school. Well, no, Facebook. Jeez, I had Facebook in like, I don't know, maybe 7th grade, started Facebook.
Well, when was I had MySpace in middle school?
MySpace, geez, yeah. MySpace was,
That
yeah,
was 8th grade.
but those were like, I feel like MySpace was almost different. Like for some reason, it wasn't as like, I don't know, it wasn't that obsessive.
Well, it was really all you could do was look at people's profiles. It wasn't like a news feed that's constantly updating. It was
Right.
like it was just people's profiles, and you just would go there to see if there was someone updated their top 5.
Oh my God, the friends list was nuts.
Yeah, it
That's how
was.
you knew drama was going down.
But that was the start of it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
that started to hurt people's feelings, like rating your friendships in order. It's like,
Yeah, that's crazy. And the guys who made that were like they probably gave it a test run and they're probably like, man, this kind of sucks, but it's addicting. Like everyone, let's put it on there. It's like, I don't think you can find your Facebook or your MySpace anymore. Those are taken down, right?
yeah, I can't find mine.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know that was everyone though.
Yeah, no, I've tried to find mine. I think it's like a different website now, to be honest.
I don't know.
But MySpace, yeah, but no, I don't know. I had social media when I was, if you count Facebook and MySpace, I guess like 7th grade. But, and even that's too young. Like, I don't want my kids to have Instagram until they're like done with high school. Like, I want you to have fun.
Yeah, I would be like all on board for like social media being like totally
Absolutely.
cut off.
Yeah.
I think that would be
I think
awesome.
it should be, I think you should either have to be, honestly, you know what? I don't know. I was going to say an age limit, but you know what? Maybe an age limit on you have to be young. Like, if it was just for young people, I feel like it wouldn't be quite as, it's the people who are on there who are like, you know, like cynical, like 30-year-old guy, or, you know, just people who are on there just like causing problems, like, because it's who they are.
There shouldn't be like so little regulation on what you can post and what you can say. Like there's zero regulation really, except on nudity pretty much. Like I can see someone being shot, but I can't see a boob.
No,
but
for
like,
sure. Oh, I mean, there's stuff that, some stuff I'm like, it'll say like, you know, click for sensitive content. It's like a coconut falling on a guy's head. And I'm like, what? This wasn't bad. Like, this was nothing. And I'll scroll and I'll see some ridiculous video that I'm like, okay, like I'm not going to be able to think straight for the next week.
Oh my God.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you see those videos and you're like, why is, like, whoever posted that should be in jail for mental assault. Like, I'm effed up now and I hope it fades, you know? Like, I feel weird right now after seeing that, and I hope my mind just forgets it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. That's what goes through my brain. I'm like, geez, this is bad.
I mean, I have like a few scary thoughts that like things that'll stick with me throughout, you know, the years or whatever. And that'll be what I always go back to. I'm like, oh, don't think of that, because then you're not gonna be able to sleep. And like as soon as I fall asleep, it'll be like the same, like 3 typical really scary things that someone told me or something I saw, or just a really bad
that's
thought.
Horrible.
And then I'm like, God, don't do it. And I always do it.
That's terrible.
But it's cycling through some different ones right now, which is at least exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost, you know, sometimes you need one to kind of like push the other ones out. It's like one of the new bad memories, and you're like, oh, like, I don't know.
Do you feel like because we're both like similar in that, and even Claire, I feel like with like how like we're pretty scared of like stuff,
like irrational thoughts.
Yeah. The irrational fears, I feel like, is that a thing with us because like, I don't know, we're from the same place, or like because
of our upbringing, or is it just like no, I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume that it's more so to the personality type, like you know, talkative, you know, can't focus. You know, like I'd say that we have more of that in common, so it may have something to do with overthinking and you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I think our brains are more wired similarly like that than it being our upbringing. I don't know, because I feel like our other cousins and siblings don't do it quite as bad.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. I guess that makes
actually
sense.
Mikey. You know what? Mikey does it. I share a lot of similar traits with him, with overthinking and like just overthinking and thinking the word. I don't know. It's definitely something that I have in common with Mikey. Yeah. So what's like, back to your career and everything, like Aprilann, where do you see, okay, as of right now, like the pace you're at and the momentum you got and your confidence level and everything, like where do you see yourself in a couple of years? Like what's the goal for 2 years, for 3 years?
The goal would be to make money enough to like do what I'm doing without any help. And the career goals though are really hard, because I want to get signed to a label so that I have help. But if you sign too early, then you won't get a very good deal, and you'll have to sign over like all your rights.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal for me in the next 2 years is to build up enough of my own fan base, like a small sort of support group of, my goal has been like 500,000.
Okay.
Before even considering a label. But then once I get there, then I think a label could help me. So in the next 2 years, I want to get at least 500,000, monthly listeners.
Monthly listeners. So that's like Spotify. And is each play on a song count as a listen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So 500,000 a month. That's a lot of listens. But it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable.
Yeah, it's doable. And I mean, if you look at the other, I mean, that goal is realistic towards like what I think is attainable. I mean, if you compare, I mean, Drake has like, I don't know, 50 million a month, and The Weeknd, so it goes pretty high.
And this is Spotify, or is it both platforms, or what?
This is Spotify. And I'm just saying 500,000 because it's just like an easy sort of visual to aim for.
Right.
If I don't have that, it's not like the streams are everything. Even I just want to be able to do this without any other help.
Yeah, that'd be such a good feeling when you reach that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, I don't know.
And another thing would be to like really get into the songwriting aspect of it and write for other people more. I've written for, right now I've like been in the process of writing for 3 other people, and but I ended up singing the songs as well. So so it kind of didn't end up that way, but I really want to write songs and sell those songs. That would be another.
Have you ever seen that show where those people write songs for like a famous person, and they actually play it for them, they sing it to them and everything, and then they basically at the end of the show, I don't know, I've seen it where it was like the Jonas Brothers or something, they decide at the end like, okay, we want that person we're going to use their lyrics and do our version.
Wow, that's cool. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, my mom used to watch it all the time. It'd be like I don't know, like Katy Perry sitting up there or something, and 5 people would come in with songs they wrote to music they wrote, and they'd perform it, and then they're like hoping Katy Perry will be like, yeah, I want your song. And
yeah.
Yeah,
that would be.
My mom's always
awesome.
like, my mom's always like, April needs to do this. She's such a good songwriter. April should really do this. Every time we watch it.
Me and Dave, and then she probably makes a Dave joke.
Yeah, she's probably like, yeah, I mean, they might pick Dave's over hers. But...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like something she'd say. It's just like, oh my God.
I can picture it.
Yeah, unless Dave, Dave
of course,
really.
Dave might beat you.
She might be. Yeah. Yeah, she's funny. Yeah, Dave, man, Dave was so relevant for a while. And for listeners that don't know Dave is, he's like just a, I don't know. I I like Dave. He's chill. He's chill, and he's just there. When you least expect, you'll see Dave.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
He's a songwriter, so that's what we were saying, like compete with April, but yeah, no, that show is actually really, I personally hated the show when I was watching it. I thought the show itself was obnoxious, but the idea of it is really cool. And it would be something so sick, if someone picked your song up.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
But it'd be even sicker if you wrote the song and sang it and it got big.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that's,
I don't even want the song. I just want you to sing it. Just you keep it.
I don't know about that.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe it'll be like, I don't know, like do
it with me or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like too precious to just hand over to someone who gets enough credit already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's like Serbia like right now with COVID? Are you guys open or what?
Yeah, everything's open pretty much. The social distancing and like everyone wearing masks has been like, I guess, keeping it down pretty well. I mean,
keeping it down?
Keeping the cases down, yeah.
Oh, like people have been doing it.
Yeah, people have been taking that like really seriously, it seems. So, because I thought I was taking it really seriously
Yeah.
compared to like other people in America, but here I'm like slacking, so I feel like a jerk. But I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess this is cool. And I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think that is the only thing that we can do. So
Yeah,
we
unless
should
we
be
want to
social
totally
distancing.
shut down, it's like, guys,
Yeah,
we got to do our job for a little bit.
we have to just wear masks. Like that's
Like at this point, that's what it's come to. And if
this is a good alternative.
it gets them to like end this thing any earlier, let's just like all get together and just put like, because I hate the mask. Oh my God, the other day, because everyone here in Spain, everyone's wearing a mask everywhere they go. They told us the other day we had to play with a mask. And I was like, I got to play basketball with a mask on. So we had practice, and it was the first day of practice with masks, and I was dying. I was trying to get deep breaths. And ever since I had COVID, I felt like my lungs like randomly will give me like weird issues. And so I'm like already struggling to breathe, and this mask is making it worse. And I was like, I cannot, like, this might be the end of my season if they tell me I have to wear a mask. And then
Wow.
I was furious. I'm like, I did not sign up to play basketball with a mask. You know, like it's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I mean, maybe people get used to it because I've seen a ton of people doing it in colleges and stuff. But for me, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't, this is not natural to me. It's not. So, but thank God there was like over the weekend, they sent out like a bunch of teams complained and protested it. And by our next practice, they were like, no masks. And I was like, thank God someone spoke up, because this was bad. Like,
Yeah. I can't imagine that. I saw people playing tennis with a mask, I think.
maybe,
I don't remember.
probably.
I don't remember. It was something I was watching. I was like, they're playing with masks now?
Which is funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, some of these people who are spread out and still wearing a mask, I'm like tennis,
Yeah.
you don't need a mask in tennis.
Yeah, they're socially distanced, plenty.
Yeah.
I guess the ball, you're touching the ball.
I guess. But I mean, like, I
But
don't
yeah.
even know. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, it's playing sports with a mask, like especially basketball. Like, I think if I played football, it might not affect me that much. Like, I already have stuff all over my face, and I don't know, but like, or like golf, maybe, you know, something that doesn't. But like getting that mask all sweaty was the worst. That was the worst, one of the worst parts. Not just not being able to breathe, but like you might take your mask off for a second, and then you got to put this sweaty, soaking mask back on your face. You ever put like a bathing suit back on?
Yeah, oh my God, that's
Right?
the worst.
It's the worst. It's not quite that bad, but it's like the same concept where it's like this cold sweat, and you're just like, oh, this is disgusting.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but I you know, I played a game.
But that,
Hold on, you're just glitching. What'd you say?
nothing.
You-
No, I did it. I was listening to you.
I had a game, and the guy I was guarding was wearing a mask, and it's kind of crazy because I didn't even realize it. How weird this was. This was a few weeks ago. I didn't even realize how weird that was, because how often I see people all day, every day wearing a mask now.
Yeah.
It's become normal. So this guy in the game is wearing a mask, and he's literally guarding me wearing a mask, and I didn't even notice for like 2 quarters. I was like, holy crap, that guy's wearing a mask. This is insane. Everyone's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, we can do that? Can I just check into the game with my mask on? Like it's nothing? I mean, I don't know.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You didn't notice.
Right? I'm serious. This guy's guarding me, and I'm just like, all right, like, you know, just playing the game. And I'm like, holy crap, this guy's wearing a mask. Like, he's like, like it literally hit me like that. I'm like, holy crap, like, what is going on? Like, did I really not even notice this? Like, kind of scared me. I'm like, wow, I'm really like getting used to this
that
lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was in like Korea and China and everything. Like everyone was wearing a mask all the time. Like it wasn't weird to see people in masks at all.
Yeah.
So
they're I mean, it's smart to wear a mask. I mean, when you have any sort of immune issue, or you just don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. And it's going to be way less. You're going to see way more people doing it, even not for Corona reasons, because of how acceptable it is now.
Yeah.
Like if you used to walk in somewhere with a mask, when I was a little kid, I used to be like, holy crap, that person has some disease.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be scared of them.
Yeah. And now it's like, it's total opposite now. Like you walk in without a mask, it's like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
God, that's weird.
That is really weird. It completely flips.
Yeah. And
wow.
who knows? It's very strange. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting very used to wearing a mask over here. And
yeah, I mean, I think everyone at this point has to accept it. I mean, it's like the only thing we can do.
Yeah. God, it's going to be, how much has it affected your music?
COVID?
Yeah. Like, have you been able to get in the studio the same amount, or like, how does that play a role?
Well, COVID got bad, right when I released EP1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, and it was like this whole lead up to some performances that I had, that I had to cancel, and they were like the first performances I was gonna have, and was our main thing, like why we weren't doing as much like online PR was because I was gonna be performing. So then I didn't really end up doing either properly. So that effed everything up. But yeah, so now, and that's what I mean. It like I've been doing this for a while, but it's still, I mean, this still feels like I'm now, okay, now I'm starting. Like
Right. I feel like it's more of a fresh start now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, I'm going to give you the floor here to promote anything you want, say whatever you want to whoever you want right now.
Yeah, if you are listening to this, follow me on social media and stream my music on Spotify, and actually like the song if you do like it, because it really helps me out if you give the song a heart. Like it's crazy how much that helps. So if you don't mind, that would be great. And also subscribe on YouTube, like the video if you like the video.
Subscribe to what? Aprilann Land?
Aprilann.
Aprilann.
Aprilann Land on everything, or just Aprilann, it'll pop up. Or on YouTube it's Aprilann, but on everything else it's Aprilann Land.
Okay. So yeah. Yeah, it's funny how that like button, sometimes I'll watch like 10 videos and they're all great, and I'll be like, crap, I didn't like any of these.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and I'm like, wow, well, I don't really take offense to it, at all, because I don't like anything. I don't subscribe to many people on YouTube or Spotify. So
you know what? Now I just like everything. I just like everything because I'm like, you know what? It'll make them feel a little better. Even if I don't like it, I'm like, this is for you. This is your little bit of what is it? Dopamine? Yeah. Here's your little dose for me today.
That's nice. Yeah.
I'm just like, just spread it, spread it around, spread the love a little bit on social media. It doesn't have to be such a terrible thing. But
yeah, if I'm like really, I don't know, hyper or something, I'll even comment on someone's that I don't know and be like, oh, nice.
Yeah, put a little emoji, just a little flame or something. I'm like, nice. Because you know what? When you get those, as stupid as they are, for some reason, we're wired to be like, nice.
Yeah.
It
feels good.
Weird. I actually preferred when Instagram took away the likes. Did your phone do that?
Mine never did it. And I wanted it to so bad.
I loved it.
I was like,
yeah.
God damn it.
I was so excited that I got, so that randomly my phone just, you're a part of a trial thing. And I was like, oh, cool. And because I had heard they were going to do that. And I didn't know when or what it was, but I was like, I want to try it. And and it was like so refreshing to actually look at the content first and not just go to, whoa, that's a lot of likes. What is this? like, or just anything like that, you know. So nice to just look at content for what it is and not have to. I don't know if there were comments. That's something. I'm not sure if there were comments on them, but the likes not being there was pretty cool. It was like, you don't know who's famous now, because there's a lot of people who you're like, geez, 6 million likes, like who is this guy? Or 200,000 likes? Holy crap. Like, but when it wasn't like that, it was like, oh, the playing field was so even. It was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing I look at too. And I mean, when I'm on TikTok, especially.
Oh my God. Now Instagram has these reels, which is just the copycat of TikTok, I guess. But I literally try so hard not to look at them because I just know my personality. And I'm like, I'll get sucked into this. And this is something else I don't need on top of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I was like,
yeah, I haven't gotten into them.
The reels, the Instagram
reels. Yeah.
It's like TikTok. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Scroll through and it's like these cool little videos and you're like, oh, one more. And you go to the next one. Let me find one more good one. You know, it was like Vine. Vine was similar, but
yeah, Vine was cool.
Yeah. So thanks for taking the time out of your night in Serbia to be the Ben's friend today.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Abe.
Ben's Friends Podcast.